So what makes a motorcycle crash different than an automobile crash, a car crash? There's a lot of different factors that go into that. One, obviously, and unfortunately, the severity of the injuries are typically much greater in the motorcycle, with the motorcycle rider. I mean, we don't have protection. We don't have a cage around us to protect us from the injuries. But there's also mechanical things that somebody who doesn't know motorcycles may not understand. For example, if you get on your front brakes too hard, the only way you're going to get out of the skid on the front wheel is to release the brakes, and sometimes those make a different type of scuff mark on the skid. I had a case that was critically important because the opposing party's expert wanted to argue that this guy wasn't doing anything, and I'm like, well, he's on his full brakes, but he's got to let go of the front or he's going to high side. So there's different operations in avoidance, what riders have to do to avoid a crash, what they can do to avoid a crash, and what they physically can't do to avoid a crash. And so all of those need to be investigated. And then one of the things is if there's a bunch of witnesses who don't ride motorcycles that have witnessed a motorcycle crash, they don't have any concept of, if I'm on my bike and the speed limit's 30 miles an hour and I'm taking off from a red light, I can get up to 30 miles an hour. I can get up to 30 miles an hour, the speed limit, a lot faster than the car next to me. And so the car that sees me going, accelerating to 30 from a stop thinks I'm flying. And so you've got to realize when witnesses are not understanding what is happening so that, you can address it in the lawsuit or at trial. So there's a lot of moving parts to a motorcycle crash. And then also, maybe you're not injured or maybe you are, but your motorcycle's oftentimes totaled. And knowledge of the motorcycle and getting that property damage taken care of, especially if you have a highly customized motorcycle, is very important. I mean, most of the adjusters out there don't know what they're doing if you're dealing with a customized Harley. And so you have to have some knowledge and some expertise on parts and cost and that kind of thing specific to motorcycles.